Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to Geeks Watch. Today, I want to talk about the film Remarkably Bright Creatures, an image of which you'll see behind me because it's on Netflix and it's not on DVD or Blu-ray. Starring Sally Fields. Um, Minor spoilers. The main character of the film is Tova Sullivan. She is an elderly widow who works nights cleaning the local aquarium in a fictional town on the coast of the state of Washington. It's a very small community. Everyone knows everyone else. Everyone knows everyone else's business. Tova has a small group of friends who she kind of finds annoying because they gossip about everyone in town. But then she in turn goes to the aquarium and talks to the octopus and delivers all the gossip to him. So she's a bit of a gossip herself. She has become a cantankerous, isolated old woman. She is frustrated with the town. It's her home. It's been her home for her whole life. She lives in a house that her father built, a beautiful cabin on the ocean. And it's getting run down, but it's still a beautiful cabin, full of her family's heirlooms and things of that nature. We learn that she's had a rough life, that her son died young. Her husband passed away he got sick. They didn't see exactly what happened, but she has since become withdrawn and cantankerous. A young man drives into town in a battered up old van. He's kind of a bragger. He's one of those guys who he talks a good game, but then never actually follows through on anything. And you can tell he's full of crap. He's just, so talkative and mouthy, and he just has no idea what he's talking about. But his car breaks down and he needs a part-time job to pay for money to fix his van. Tova one night slips and hurts her ankle, sprains it very badly, and so they hire Cameron as a replacement. And the two of them are kind of thrown together. She's teaching him the ropes. He's half-assed doing his job, and she's angry with him for doing a job that she takes great pride in very badly. So they kind of develop a friendship. Cameron is looking for his father. So recent developments, Cameron's in a band. I don't want to give you too much of the story because it is a fairly recent film. But so I'll probably stop spoiling there. But it is a story about, about these two people and the small town that Tova lives in. We slowly are teased Tova's history. We are slowly teased Cameron's history, the young man whose car breaks down, and some other history of the people throughout the town. We learn things, that type of stuff. I don't know about those, but the other character in the film is the octopus in the tank that Tova gossips with, Marcellus. We see things through his eyes occasionally throughout the film. He finds the children who lick his tank and leave, gum on the floor. Very annoying for the most part. But he does like Tova. He likes a few people. Tova is one of his favorite people. And, Marcellus is a very, very intelligent octopus. And his commentary throughout the film is sporadic. The film opens with him talking, but then we'll get easily 20 minutes where we don't hear from Marcellus at all, which would make sense most of the time when he's speaking, it's because they're in the aquarium. So things that, Tova at her house, or with their knitting circle friends, so stuff like that when she's at the grocery store. Obviously, we don't hear myself talking to him for the most part, but it's cute. Sally Fields plays Tova Sullivan. She does an amazing job. She's really an excellent actress. Cameron being kind of a doofus. Whoever the actor is, know his name, but he played his part amazingly well. I think all the people in the film did the job, an amazingly good job. It feels like a small town, like a small coastal town, given that I grew up in one. I think it's a bit more idyllic than most small towns of that nature are. Everyone is very, very happy and very pleasant for the most part. I mean, Tova is the odd man out, being the cantankerous, crotchety old woman. Everyone else is very open and friendly and pleasant. And so it's more of an idyllic small town than, but it's still believable. You know, the characters are believable. Cole Meany plays the guy who runs the general store slash cafe. I like Cole Meany as an actor. So it's a cute, fun little film. I very much enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to win any Academy Awards. It's not that type of film, but it's heartfelt. It's emotional, especially when you know, when Tova talks about, you know, her family, you know, what happened to her family. So very emotional, very heartfelt. I did find what I would consider glaring flaw in the film. I won't say what it was. It was toward the end of the film. But it's like, but I'm looking at it and like, are you really telling me that this is the thing and no one noticed it? That's the thing. It's like there's one thing that I found very, very, very obvious and like no one else noticed it. So it's like, it annoyed me. But Sally Field's performance is amazing. And also, we usually think of her, the roles that she played when she was younger are more bubbly and effervescent. That she's playing this, you know, this grouchy, you know, crotchety old woman. She pulls it off very well. She's an amazing actress. I really enjoy her work. And I enjoy seeing her play different parts. Like I said, the rest of the cast did a great job. Yeah, it's not, I'm not going to say it's like an A+ must-watch film, but it's a good film. It was well written, well directed, and well acted, you know. Like I said, aside from that one like tiny flaw that I saw, there were a few cringe-worthy moments, but I think that's more myself. You know, watching Cameron be the type of person that he was. You know, someone who's like trying to talk like he knows everything, like he knows what he's talking about when he's clearly an idiot. That just makes me cringe. That just really bothers me. So that's on me. That's not, you know, a detraction of the film per se. That's just something that aggravates me. That I'm like, do I have to watch this now? Please go to something that makes sense to me. But again, that's my quirk for not liking certain things in films. But yeah, a good solid film, a good entertaining, you know, film you can watch with your wife. It's not a romantic film. You know, there's no romance going on between Tova, a woman in her, well, definitely retirement age, and Cameron, a man who's in his, I'm not sure, 20s, maybe mid-20s, maybe early 30s. Hard to say. But like I said, I enjoyed it. And for it's a good quiet popcorn film. Like I said, just sit back and enjoy the show. But for that, it is you know, it's a bit longer than most like those easygoing popcorn films, but it's almost 2 hours. It's like 1 hour and 51 minutes, I think. So a bit longer than most lighthearted dramas of its nature. But still, it kept me interested for the whole time. I never wanted to like flip the channel, and I was never bored, put it that way. So I couldn't find anything like background stuff. Netflix doesn't have like the making of Remarkable Creatures. I know it was based on a book. Beyond that, I don't know anything about the making of the film. So that's all I have to say about that. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.